Going on YouTube? Centex Collector here with some comic books. We got my Deadpool box and just recently started collecting physical comics. I figured we'd just go through this real quick because I haven't touched these in a while, so honestly I'm not even sure what's in here anymore. So I know predominantly it's G.I. Joe, and I'd like to get a G.I. Joe run, especially original Marvel, because I read a lot of digital stuff. But let's see what we got in here. We got Mickey Mantle. I think I picked this off of a sports card lot. Marvel G.I. Joe number 2, number 3, 18. I think I got a lot of this stuff in order. Got 29, 31. That's a really cool cover with Destro and Snake Eyes. We got 40, 75 cents. Now you're paying like $5 a comic. 43. These, and it's hard to find. I go to half price books a lot of times and try to pick up random comics. It's hard to find the Marvel anymore. Half price. 49. Number 50. I wish I had a way to display. So I really love comic cover art. 55. 56. 57. And then Armored Cobra Commander. 58. And maybe get some better, because this one looks like it's really bent. 64 or Serpentor. 72. 81. That's Thrasher and Battle Force 2000. A Row Pig on 83. 95. That's a cool Snake Eyes cover. 96. 100. 111. Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, the camo version. And then we jump to IDWs. So what's the last one I got? So 111. So I'm missing quite a few, so maybe I can fill those in eventually. Then we got the IDW. We got 205. 209. I didn't do a good job of keeping up with these. 215, I really like this cover. This one too. 217. You know, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, it's always like back and forth whether Storm Shadow's on G.I. Joe or Cobra. Still IDW. 217. 223. 224. I guess I was kind of picking these up at one point. 226. And then we got back to Marvel. So we got Special Missions. Number 1. Special Missions number 2. Number 3. Number 7. Oh, I think I remember where I was getting these at. Number 12. I need to go back. There's a local place. I think I was getting these fairly cheap. Number 14. Number 16, Special Missions. Number 17. 19. 20. Tales of G.I. Joe. Number 3. Number 9. And number 11. Number 15. I can't remember what these Tales of G.I. Joe were. And then G.I. Joe Order of Battle. Number 1. And we got Dial Tone coming. He was a name reveal for Classified. And number 4, Order of Battle. G.I. Joe Transformers, number 1. I always try to pick up number 1s. Yeah, you see this is real bent, real bad. I always try to pick up number 1s. Just number 2, same thing. Got number 3, Shockwave on the cover there. Number 4. Then we go into DDP. Number 1, of course. Number 2, I think he was part of the Extreme line. I forget his name now. Number 3. And then number 2. Huh. Yeah, it must be another run. And then DDP, America's Elite. Number 0. Number 1. This cover art got really good too. Number 26. Bunch of Cobras. It's a cool cover. And then Special Missions DDP. Antarctica, so it wasn't a number, it's just like a place. Then we got Reloaded, number 5. And then Image. So DDP and Image were kind of like one and the same because they were running the same. But anyway, there's number 1, Image. And then we got DDP, number 26. I guess I'm kind of out of order here. Definitely got this one, it's a Shockwave. Here's number 39. This was just a cool cover, and it was number 1, Dreadnoks Declassified, DDP, Devil's Due. Then Sigma 6 was number 1, DDP. Number 4, Sigma 6. An Image Frontline, G.I. Joe. Number 1, of course. Number 2. Sometimes if I could pick them off in runs, I would too. So this was IDW. This came with the 3 3/4 25th anniversary Modern line figures. So this was Falcon, Nemesis, Enforcer. And I actually have those figures tucked away in the box. Another comic book. IDW, Hasbro combination things. The figures came with the comic. I don't think I have those figures though. And then we got Valor versus Venom. Looks like my board is smaller than the comic on this particular one. I must got this from half price or something. Not sure, maybe DDP probably made that one too. Then we got IDW. Number 1. Oh, so this was like G.I. Joe. Just a G.I. Joe line, not a Real American Hero, but G.I. Joe by Chuck Dixon. And then it had like volume 1, volume 2, and I think volume 3. And number 1 must be a variant cover. Sometimes I would get sucked into the variant covers because the variant cover was pretty cool on this one. Perhaps my local comic shop somewhere locally. Variant cover $4.25 instead of the cover price looks like. Civil War, I definitely got this because the throwback to the 80s Joe's Target Snake Eyes. I love Snake Eyes, so just like every other kid, right? Oh, this was 300. Real American Heroes. That needs to go in my other stack over there. But this cover is just awesome. I recently acquired that one. IDW, Jeddar's Course, when Chuckles was doing his thing, was a spin-off. Cobra Files. Yeah, it's just so hard. So many different spin-offs. We got Cobra Civil War. Some more IDW, Rise of Cobra, Snake Eyes. So again, I got this because of Snake Eyes. At least this tells you here, cover A. And usually they do like cover A, B, C, D. A lot of different covers. Cover 3, so Snake Eyes again. Or I mean, this is issue 3. IDW. Issue 4, JoJo Snake Eyes. Rise of Cobra. What was this number? Issue 1. Movie adaptation. Number 2. And this tells you it's like B cover. And I love Street Fighter, so this was number 1. Street Fighter G.I. Joe. Definitely got that from my local shop. This one I picked up recently at half price just because it was Fun Publishing. You don't see these very often. So this was a convention exclusive, apparently from 2016. I paid a decent amount. I think I paid like $12 for this, but I thought it was super cool to have in my collection. The new stuff, I had to get Duke number 1. And then, of course, Cobra Commander number 1. I don't know which covers these are, but does it tell me on here? No. But just thought the cover was cool. And then here was the Revolution with G.I. Joe in it. And then here's another one. Oh, there it is, number 1. Okay, so these were, again, I got sucked into the variant cover, apparently. That was the variant cover. Guess I bought 3 of the, because these are all number 1s. The Mask. Yeah, Revolution involved Mask and a bunch of other different 80s ones. This was number 1, so got that from a local shop, probably Titan Comics in Cedar Park. Grifter, I always liked Grifter, so again, it's a number 1, it's a newer comic, but I like Grifter, cool cover art. Deathstroke's another one of my favorite. Obviously, Deadpool was a straight ripoff of Deathstroke. Number 1, this is a newer comic per se. Was it 2011? New-ish, but killer cover. Thunderbolts, I was really into the Thunderbolts. Again, number 1. I probably got some, no, I didn't get the variant covers, but I love the Thunderbolts. This Thunderbolts team with Red Hulk and Deadpool and Punisher and Agent Venom all in red. Elektra. So it's just a really cool team. Oh, so I got these from Capstone Comics, which are no longer in business. Sucks to see a lot of your local comic shops out of business nowadays. And then I got Thunderbolts number 2. Number 3. And the leader, I guess, joined the team or is trying to corrupt the team. Uncanny X-Force. Yeah, this looks like it's still like in a plastic baggie. Uncanny X-Force variant edition. When the X-Force came back out, you had Deadpool, Phantom X. Deadpool, of course. Deadpool is one of my favorite comic book characters. I think I got a bunch of Deadpool stuff coming up. Deadpool Max. Deadpool number 1. And the last bit in this short box. I'm actually kind of impressed. And a lot of comics I gave to my son. He's into Batman, Spider-Man, Wolverine. Obviously, he's a lot older now than then, but I've given a lot of my stuff to him. So he's got a pretty good collection. He's got like 2 to 4 short boxes now. But here's Deadpool number 3. Street Fighter. Again, I love Street Fighters. Here's number 1, Free Comic Book Day. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat is one of my favorite fighting games. Here's another Street Fighter comic. Looks like another Free Comic Book Day. Another one, Ultra Street Fighter 2, Free Comic Book Day, number 1. RoboCop, I think I got from Blvd. Again, I'm a kid of the 80s, so I love this 80s stuff. So here's number 1, RoboCop. Frank Miller's RoboCop was killer. Frank Miller, man. He did some killer, obviously, Batman stuff, and I believe he did the Spider-Man stuff. Wildcats reminds me of my childhood. Here's number 1. I just Like, I was a teenager in the 90s, so this was just throwback to my teenage years. I like the embossed cover and the raised cover, and I like the Wildcats getting grifters on the Wildcats. That was a cool team. Image Comics, I think DC may have eventually taken it out, but Jim Lee did Wildcats. So Jim Lee, great artist. Ooh, here's a Deathstroke, #1. Forgot I had this. X-Force. This must have been one I held on to. Oh, because Deadpool's on the cover. My son wasn't getting that. Spawn #1. Spawn #2. I'd like Spawn 2. #3. I'm Spawn in general, that is. Spawn 4. Spawn 5. This must have been a run I got from somewhere. GoBots, again, kid of the 80s, so the poor man's Transformers. Actually, it's IDW, so this is newer. Micronauts, I think they're in Revolution as well. But old school Micronauts. Other Micronauts, I must have got these at half price. And Sectars, oh man, I think I got here's a mini comic book. Sectars #1. I had some of these toys and I sold them off because I wasn't gonna go down that rabbit hole collecting Sectar toys. Sectars #2. Oh, Double Dragon #2. One of my favorite video games, Double Dragon. And then we have Young Bloods. Again, I had this from my childhood actually, but what, #0? Yeah, Image Comics. Again, one of those just cool comic books from the 90s. And last but not least, this Mask #1. Oh, it looks like it. But Mask, I think, yeah, they were in Revolution as well. But again, like I said, kid of the 80s, so... Oh, DC Comics did Mask. But, yeah, that's my humble comic book collection, you said. As you see, primarily G.I. Joe. Like I said, I gave most of my other Marvel stuff to my son that I had comics from the 80s and 90s and passed on to my son so he could start his own collection. He's in his early 20s now, so hopefully he can continue on collecting comics. I'm not a big comic book collector because I'm so busy, as you see on my channel, with action figures, but I want to dabble back into comic books. I do enjoy reading, especially digital comic books. I'm staying up with the G.I. Joe run. If you've seen my comic book reviews, if you want me to do more comic reviews of different stuff, let me know. I enjoy reading comic books, especially digitally. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I forgot about a lot of this stuff that I have. It's kind of a good way for me to organize what I had going on in my comic book stash. Nothing crazy, just my little humble collection, but hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. JJ out.